Greetings viewers, you already know what you're here for, so let's jump into it. We're going to be doing two different things today. The first thing we're going to be doing is we are going to be removing this thumbhole stock from this Serbian M70 NPAP, and then we are going to be installing the Magpul Zukov S stock. Now, there are two versions of this stock, so you'll need to pay attention to which one you have and which one is going to need to be installed on your weapon. This particular one that we're installing today is the Mag 552. So with all the variety of AKs out there in countries of origin, there's two different stocks. They may or may not fit yours, so I would do some research first to make sure that you purchase the right one so you don't end up with the wrong item. The one that we are installing today, the rear interface of it looks just like this. The other one has a long piece that sticks out. It's slanted and has a whole different mounting option, so it's going to be one of these two or neither at all. So obviously the first thing you need to do is safety check your firearm. We've already done that. I've got the chamber flag in here, so we're going to go ahead and disassemble this because in order to remove this, I have to get down through the main receiver here to undo the grip screw. So let's go ahead and take our chamber flag off. We're going to put the weapon on fire. So the majority of AKs have a button right here that you depress in order to remove the dust cover. Some of them may have this feature, some of them may not. There is a pin over here that I have to depress because if I just try and push on this, it does not go all the way forward. So I do have to press this pin all the way in, which will then allow me to press this all the way in. And once it goes far enough into the dust cover that I can remove it, it should push in and then kind of allow me to pick this up from the back. So we can set that aside. Then we need to remove the recoil assembly here. We are going to have to push this pin in again. Slide this all the way forward till it pops out. We can let go of that little spring-loaded pin, and then we're going to let this ride back to the rear. And remove this. We can set it aside. And now we have access to the flathead screw that is right there for the grip. Just to keep it from wobbling around while I'm maneuvering this thing, I'm going to take out the bolt and the piston assembly. You just grab the charging handle, pull it all the way to the rear, and the entire unit will come out. Again, set that aside. So now we don't have any moving parts. We have access to everything we need to get to. The next thing that we need to do to remove the butt stock is we need to take the butt pad off. Now, there are two circular portions right here. They should look like they're kind of solid rubber, but they're not. This is the part you're going to need your Phillips head screwdriver to remove it. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into the center of that circle and you're just going to push the screwdriver in. Once you get it far enough in, you should feel contact with the screw. You may have to wiggle the screwdriver a little bit to get the Phillips head notches to line up, and then you're just going to turn to the left and undo the two screws. All right, so once both screws are backed out enough, you should be able to take the butt pad off. We can set that aside. And then you're going to have to look straight down in here, and pretty far up there you're going to find a flathead screw. You're going to need to get that long, this is where you're going to need that long flathead screwdriver. So we're going to reach that down in there and undo it. All right, so once that's done enough, you should be able to turn it over and that screw will come out. So as you can see, it's a pretty long bolt. There may be a washer with it too, somewhere that may not have come out. Next, we're going to come from the top of the receiver here. There is a flathead screw there. We can just use the same screwdriver that we used and undo that. Remove our cheap little wood screw here, and then the receiver and the stock should separate. May need a little bit of wiggling to get it because this portion is jammed inside the rear of the receiver. So the inside of your receiver should look like this. If you are, again, installing the 552, if you're seeing something other than this right here, then you are using the wrong stock. So now before we begin the installation of the Magpul stock, make sure you have the stock itself. You're going to want to unfold it. So you've got this button right here you're going to depress, and it should break open. If you are struggling because this thing is locked into place and you just can't get enough force on it to push the button and open it, what you can do is you can go ahead and insert that interface into the back of the weapon, press the halves together to hold it, and now press the button, and then you can use the rifle itself to help kind of hold it in place and stabilize it to unfold it. Inside the box for the stock, there should be a little plastic bag with two pieces in it. You've got the Allen head screw that's got a little bit of Loctite material on it, and this metal interface that's used for sling mount. And the way that's going to go in is right here. So we've got our button that we depress. This piece right here is going to go inside, and then it'll sit like this, and then that other metal part will interface with where the screw is that we're about to put in that needs to go through here. So This stock folds to the right side of the firearm. So what we'll do is we're just going to insert that rear piece there. We're going to fold this down, get it out of our way so we have access to where we need. And then all we're going to do is drop our Allen bolt down in there, make sure we go through that little metal sling mount piece and then into the plastic, into the receiver of the firearm. And then we are going to use our number 6 Allen wrench to put the screw in. What I would recommend doing is spin it backwards until you can feel those threads kind of catch and it'll fall into place, and then turn it to the right because you don't want to cross thread this since it is holding on your stock. We really don't want to destroy any part of this. And then just start turning to the right. All right, so we're going to turn it until the screw bottoms out. I don't have any torque spec settings to give you to tell you what to put it on. Again, as usual, make it hand tight, but we're not trying to snap the screw off in there. You snap this off, you're going to have a real bad day. So just make it nice and snug, and your stock is installed. Test it, make sure it folds, unfolds. It should kind of lock into place so it's not flopping around. Once you get it to a certain point, it'll kind of unlatch, and then you can swing it freely, and then it'll just pop itself in. So give it a test a few times, make sure it works. It's how you like it. Since this stock kind of has a grip included here, the guy that gave this to me to work on did not provide me with the pistol grip. However, whatever pistol grip you're going to be installing is very simple. You just put it over the hole, and you're either A, going to screw it in from the top, or if you got something like a Magpul or a hollowed out pistol grip, the screw is going to go up from the bottom to here. So either one of those, whatever pistol grip you put on there, is that's how you're going to install that. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and reassemble this thing. You may think I'm doing that kind of weird without the pistol grip, but no, you explained why. So we're just going to go in reverse order of what we did before. Take our gas piston and bolt, get the piston lined up where it goes, slide that all the way forward. Recoil assembly, we're going to slide that spring in there. We're going to pull this forward until it kind of can go clear that. We're going to drop it down into those notches. It will not go back until we press this pin. And we may have to wiggle it just a little bit. Once it goes all the way back, we can let go. That's locked into place. And we need to put our dust cover back on. There is a notch in the front under the rear sight where it goes. This can be kind of a pain in the butt, and you feel like you need 4 hands to accomplish it. Keep this in that notch and keep it pressed forward the best that you can. We are going to have to press that pin in order to get this to slide out of the way so the dust cover can go down. And all we're going to do is we're going to push that pin in. We're pushing forward on the dust cover and down. There we go. And then once that pops back out, everything should be good to go. You can give it a function check just to make sure you got it back together right. Weapon's on fire. And we're good to go. So we have a garbage thumb hole stock removed and a nice Magpul one installed in its place. Hopefully I answered any questions you had, covered everything that you needed to know about this. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. I'll be glad to get back to you as best I can in text form. If it's something that requires a little bit more specific of an answer, I'll be glad to make a video or a short for you to answer it. So with that, I'll stop taking up your time. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.